Welcome, guys. Today we are going to talk about the 10 strongest Dragon Ball Z characters. Let's go immediately to the rules. Only anime characters. I don't think there are any characters in the manga exclusive to the manga, so don't worry about it. Only characters in Dragon Ball Z and before that, so regular Dragon Ball can count, but there's nobody in regular previous Dragon Balls that can surpass Dragon Ball Z tier characters. We are jumping a huge ladder here. There are like a 20, 30 characters far stronger than back in Dragon Ball Z, and some of the old characters also increase significantly in power, so they will reappear on the list. No characters from prequels, not associated with Z, that means no Dragon Ball minus. But Father of Goku and the Trunks special count, but you don't have to worry about these because they won't affect the ranking. I also include the movies. The simple reason is because the list would look a little too repetitive, because most of the list is just Boo and a Saiyan. Boo, Saiyan, Boo, Saiyan, Boo, Saiyan. One of the reasons I exclude also End of Z, and so we don't have Oop, but really it doesn't matter because Oop is technically on the list anyways, as Kid Boo. The reasons I split the Boos is simple, because each of the we have 4 variations of Boo. We have the fat one, he's his own character. We have Evil Boo, he's his own characters, and we have Super Boo, he's his own character, and we have Kid Boo, he's his own character. I will always put the image of the strongest version of the character on the list that was shown at the time, so just so you don't wonder, don't look surprised. No Dr. Slump characters, because we can scale Dr. Slump characters. Did I forget anything else? Nope. So let's go to the honorable mentions, which consist which I decided to pick this time just 6, and you can already see some of the repetitiveness here. We have already 4 Saiyans technically, or 2 Saiyans if you just say Saiyans. We have Bojack. Bojack, obviously a candidate that surpasses Vegeta, Super Vegeta's power from the Cell Saga. Needed Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to defeat him, and at this point, like, it's clear he is stronger than Frieza, formerly known as the strongest in the universe, who can blow up planets casually and is feared by God, like King Kai. Obviously, he made several Super Saiyans look like a jobber, defeated Piccolo, who merged with Kami. So there you get it, Bojack. And you have Bio Broly. He's the clone of Broly, and to give an idea, Broly already is insanely strong. He's also on the list. He's the strongest Super Saiyan when he was introduced. First evil Super Saiyans to defeat him, Goku needed the energy of pretty much anyone, and it's arguable how he scales compared to the main storyline characters like Cell or Super Saiyan Gohan. It's not far of a scratch to believe he surpasses Gohan in power at that point. But obviously some will disagree. because of when the movie was released and some other things. Um, Bio Broly is obviously weaker than um, regular Broly because he was just released and has yet to release his latent power, but he can still tank attacks from Android 18 pretty much casually. Obviously, honorable mentions, these characters doesn't matter how they scale compared to each other. We have Cell, the one of the strongest characters. Several times in the story he was the strongest. Uh, when he arrived, he was already above Frieza level because he has Frieza Cell. That means he has the key of Frieza. He can absorb to get stronger. Absorbing Android 16 made no 17 made him strong enough to tank up low from Android 16 casually, who was equal in power at that point. He after absorbing he was weak when he was stomped by Vegeta. Absorbing Android 18 made him jump a tier again and made Vegeta look like a jobber like always. Then he got another power up which put him about even to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, but still not stronger, to the point that Gohan could defeat him with just one hand. Even, yeah, he struggled, but still Cell was defeated. Yeah, he claims he can blow up the solar system. Whether that feat is real or not is up to you. If we go by external sources which we are not using power levels on this list. We are looking at some statements and how the characters behave to semi-judge who's supposed to be stronger than who, which can create some inconsistencies, but if we go by sheer feats, Dragon Ball physics aren't very accurate, to say the least. And I won't, like I said, not using external guides because they can be hard to scale. And movie scaling obviously may seem weird, but I think it can work out. Hachak was stated to be stronger than Broly, so that's, whether it's true or not, it's already an impressive feat. And Vegeta, who may be the strongest on these honorable mentions, is supposedly stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and we have seen how strong Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was. So these are the honorable mentions, and like I said, several non-Saiyans didn't make the list anyway, so this is the reason pretty much why I included the movie. If I didn't include the movie, we may see more Saiyans, and I don't think many would enjoy that. Fusions are their own characters, some of them, which is sadly why I technically some characters could be considered to be twice on the list. Let's start with number 4, which may surprise you if you go by the list. Majin Buu, Fat Buu. As there are pretty much two variations of Fat Buu. We have this Fat Buu, who when he arrived made Vegeta look like a joke and beat him up quite easily, ate Dabra. Also he's already above Cell Saga tier characters. Yeah, Super Saiyan 2 is just not enough to beat him. And Goku needed Super Saiyan 3 to get to equal ground to him, or surpass him, which we will look as we go on. The reason, I will spoil it right away, Evil Boo is not on the list, and the reason for that is when Fat Boo split into Evil Boo and became Good Boo, he lost obviously a lot of power. And as the fight goes on, more of his power gets absorbed of Evil Boo. So it's clear that this Boo is stronger than this Evil Boo because Evil Boo was created from his own energy. And not that I think that if we add up both Boos, good and evil, their power would necessarily equal to Fat Boo. So it's Boo has still some dominant power he can't control, obviously, and you will find out about it as the story goes, as the list goes on, because there's only one Boo on the list that can completely control all of Boo's hidden potential. That as the course of the series you have seen was pretty much like an evil version of Gohan, which is the reason why many hoped that Gohan technically should have brought the gold and defeat Majin Buu. So yeah, Buu is broken. He can turn people into candy, he can absorb people, he can wrap you around his bubblegum body, and he just doesn't die. Number 9 is Gotenks. Gotenks is a fusion of two Half Saiyans, of the second generation Half Saiyans, who are able to turn Super Saiyan because it's natural to them. One of the most hated characters, obviously, because they didn't earn the transformation through training, which is fair, but still better than how Caulifla got it, because Caulifla sucks and can die eating a cookie. But if we regarding Gotenks is a fusion of these two. Now you add the potential of these two, and they both saw and got detail explained how Goku turned Super Saiyan 3, and they fairly got Super Saiyan 3, which is why the anime is better than the manga. And we are going doing anime scaling, which is why things are how he fought and almost defeated Super Buu, who is stronger than Fat Buu, obviously, which is already reason enough why he is able to make it this high on the list. He was also able to knock out first form Hildegard with his attack, which is pretty impressive. So Super Saiyan 3 tier character already has to make it on the list at this point. And Gotenks definitely fulfills that role, even if his fight is pretty much forgettable because it's technically filler. And we have number 8, Son Gohan, Ultimate Gohan, Mystic Gohan, whatever you call it. Gohan getting his potential unlocked for the billionth of time, able to completely toy with Super Buu, showing the difference in power between Gotenks and Gohan, in my opinion. It's clear Gohan and Gotenks are you jump in tears again. So what other feats does Gohan have? Back then he almost defeated Raditz, surpassing him in power just with one headbutt. And that was when he was not a fighter. He was able to keep one down Vegeta busy, which was impressive. He was able to temporarily pressure Frieza several times, thanks to various Senkai boosts he got throughout the series. He got his potential unlocked, then trained on the Goku for 3 years, then trained on the Goku 1 year, getting Super Saiyan, mastering Super Saiyan Awakening, the permission to go Super Saiyan 2, defeat Cell with relative ease at the start, and then after his arm got broken because he is stupid as fuck, he defeated Cell with just one hand. With most of his powers lost apparently. Yeah, Gohan then after this time skip lost quite a bit of power because he didn't train for 7 years, which is a running gag I think in Dragon Ball Super because they repeat that twice. So in total Gohan regressed in power thrice. We are getting the same story over and over again because Gohan just can't learn from his mistakes. But regardless, Gohan definitely one of the strongest characters, and his feat was so strong that some people believe he should probably be higher on the list and the strongest non-fused character of the original manga. And why I don't believe that's the case, we will get soon. And yeah, let's look at number 7, which will trigger a lot of people. And I think that's a good reason why I think Super Saiyan 7 and number 7 belongs to Son Goku, who can turn Super Saiyan 3. And why that is the case is some hidden dialogue from time to time. Some people think Goku is weaker than Gotenks because Goku said he can defeat Majin Buu, but Fusion can. But sadly, that dialogue gets retconned several times, where Goku said he could have easily defeated Fat Buu, and that when Gohan fought was losing against Majin Buu, and Goku thought he should intervene and fight him, but he was told by the old Kai that they should fuse, which is why he took the Potara. It's not because Goku thought he would lose to Buu. Technically, he was pretty much forced and should not underestimate Buu as his opponent. If we go by Z filler, where Goku actually struggled against Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks absorbed Buu, well, that may brought the point of the old Kai home. But after Buu reverted to Piccolo just with Piccolo absorbed, and Buu, he thought now even Gohan can handle him and transformed back, implying that he can now kick his ass, which is interesting. Next up is a fight against Kid Buu. They could have just, after Gohan was revived, just teleport to Earth, bring Gohan to the world of the Kais, and let him fight, but Goku was confident that he himself could defeat Kid Buu. Goku's power is also a bit of a, how should I say it? It depends how he fights. Because Super Saiyan 3 puts a lot of strain on his body, so he can't fight at full power when he's in a living body. And when he's dead, he can only pull out the best of his power in the world of the dead. So we never really saw Goku's full potential unless we watch Fusion Reborn, where he kicked Fat Janemba's ass, and against Hildegard he was able to pull his own against Hildegard for a bit, but obviously he needed the Dragon Fist appears and attack far stronger than his full key output to defeat him. Speaking of Hildegard, he is number 6 because Hildegard beat everyone. Even Super Saiyan 3 pretty much struggled to keep his own against Hildegard and was very heavily won off. And as you can see in the image, Gohan is pretty much fought out against him. Nobody in the movie can actually harm Hildegard because he can't be hit while he's not attacking. You can only attack him while he's in. He's only affected by attacks while he is attacking. This is his second form. His first form was already terrifyingly strong. Gohan barely managed to defeat half of his first form, showing that Hildegard is just too overpowered. With his tail, he can actually absorb energy, which is a running gag, I think, because most of the villains on this list are just energy absorbing assholes who can scratch their bodies. Yeah, Hildegard definitely a terrifying opponent. Next up is Janemba. And like I said, Janemba terrifying. Needed Goku to turn Super Saiyan 3 to even have a chance at the start. And he pretty much lost against Janemba. And since Goku lost to Janemba that easily, I think we can also put him above Hildegard, because against Hildegard he could hold his own a little bit and actually kill him, even if as that technique may not work against Janemba. To just tell the truth, Goku was his best in his best condition when fighting Janemba. So I think that's clear that Janemba even exceeds Super Buu in strength at this moment. Unless he absorbs Gotenks. He required fusion, because without fusion you can defeat Janemba. It's that clear pretty much. These orbs you see around the screen, he created them. They can absorb energy of those who are frozen in it. He can turn anything into a orc club. He turned into a freaking sword, and if he swipes that sword, that can cut almost anything at any distance. It's like a laser sword, and I think that's the best way to use swords in Dragon Ball, because I don't feel like a sword should be able to cut through Frieza even if you engulf it in ki. Then what else do we have? Janemba can scratch his arm, which is totally original, but his real ability is his dimension manipulation, where he can just create warp holes where he can even counter your own attack against yourself. Or he has a cool way to teleport, where he turns his bodies into cubes and they appear somewhere else. Janemba is one of the villains I think justifies his strength, because he's created of all the evil of the people in hell. So he has the evil of Frieza and such, and how does that translate into power? I don't know. I still think that's somewhat more reasonable than, okay, Hildegard is created from evil too. So I think it's more reasonable than Bojack, who just appeared out of nowhere, and Buu, who just happened to live on Earth all his life in a egg. And most of his life, or all his life, don't know. Who just happen to exist. Characters who are just strong because they are strong. no pretty low reasons given, but um, or that get always a retcon. Like, I don't think Dabra should be stronger than Frieza. We already had a Demon King, and that was Demon King Piccolo, and now you're introducing that one Demon King that uh, surpasses him in power that significantly. It's just, I think that's just stupid. Regardless, Janemba obviously a contender of fifth place. And now we are going back to the Buu. And the Buu is, this time it's Super Buu, and I wrote Super Buu. Honestly, we can remove. Well, the reason I added Gohan Absorbed and not Super Saiyan 3 when I added Goku is simple. Because if Buu doesn't absorb Gohan, he wouldn't be this high on the list. He would be about equal to Gotenks. I would think he's higher than he would scale higher than Gotenks. But that's how you want to interpret it. With Gohan Absorbed, he definitely I think he surpasses Janemba in power. You can make cases why Janemba could surpass him in power. He was able. It was required that Vegito fights him to defeat him. But when he was enraged, he was temporarily able to push Vegito back, which I think that's a feat enough to put him above Janemba. And obviously that's anime exclusive scene, which is why it's the anime scaling up. We are scaling by anime, and it's better than the manga, so don't worry about it. A lot of the guides are using anime feeds over manga feeds because they know it's better, and that's what the people watch the most often. And also, Super Buu has shown the ability to yell loudly and breaks through barriers of dimensions. And when he gets really angry, it is stated that, well, if you believe it or not, it's your own thing, but he could make dimensions collapse with each other, and that could end up the entire universe to be destroyed. It's the first time a universal feat was actually brought up in this freaking anime. Obviously, he has the power combined power of both Gohan and Super Buu. And if we were to add Super Buu, who is Gotenks level, you can imagine he's number 8 and number 9 combined in power. So yeah, Goku can no longer win against him. Fusion is required now. And now we move to number 2, who is Kid Buu. And why is Kid Buu higher than Super Buu with Gohan absorbed? And that's a decade-old debate. If we go by, it's not even just anime exclusive. This is also in the manga. It's pretty much dialogue confirms that Kid Buu is way stronger than Super Buu and greatly surpasses Gohan Buu. Because Super Saiyan 3 had no chance against Kid Buu. Kid Buu was just toying around, not giving Goku a chance to recover. And there are maybe some inconsistencies in some people's mind, but it was pretty much confirmed that absorbing chaos made Buu weaker. Normally Buu absorbs to get stronger, and each creature he absorbs gives him personality, and changes how he thinks. And in his purest form, Boo is just a playful psychopath, which is fun to watch, but a bit chaotic, because he destroyed Earth, but he didn't try to destroy the Kaioshin realm, which admittedly is more durable than Earth apparently. And he can casually destroy planets one after another by blowing himself up and regenerate. Yeah, he can regenerate too, like all the Boos. Well, he was so terrifying, the energy of all the universes were required to defeat him. And if you don't believe this guy is strong as a Super Boo, let me remind you, Goku could have just instant transmission to Earth, bring Gohan with him. The Spirit Bomb has Gohan's key in it, and it's still not enough to stop Kid Buu. So Goku had some of his energy restored and turned Super Saiyan to defeat Kid Buu. So definitely Kid Buu is another character on a tier of his own. And now we go to what you may be expecting. Kid Buu number 3, Super Buu Gohan absorbed number 2 and number 4. Number 5 is Janemba, Super Janemba to be exact. Number 6, Hildegard Final Form. Number 7, Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku is probably dead and with his is a Word of the Dead. Number 8, Ultimate Gohan. Number 9, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and number 10 is Fat Buu before he split into Evil Buu. And we are now going to number 2, and the reason I repeat myself here is you can probably guess who number 1 and number 2 is. Number 2 is Gogeta, the fusion of Goku, a fusion dance of Goku and Vegeta, and he turned Janemba into a complete joke. He defeated him in a flash of his eye. When I first watched the movie, I forgot even that he kicked Janemba a few times. I just remember him throwing that glowy ball, Soul Punisher it's apparently called. And Gogeta has like so many variations of Gogeta because continuity. He gets the job done, he's pretty serious, and I don't think fucking Kid Buu can defeat him. Obviously this is just me. Look, Super Saiyan 3 Goku was able to fight Kid Buu somewhat. Yeah, obviously they were joking, but Goku admitted they should have fused. And I think Gogeta technically would be enough to beat him. He obviously scales above Janemba because he defeated Janemba in a flash of an eye. And considering its fusion is a higher multiplayer, it's a multiplayer instead of addition like Buu, I'm certain that Super Buu with Gohan absorbed can't defeat Gogeta either. But yeah, this is again interpretation. Maybe you can argue Kid Buu can stomp Gogeta, but I think it's universally accepted that Gogeta would probably kick the ass of everyone that appeared on the list thus far. What people may not agree with is with number 1, because there are many things that conflict, but it just makes sense that number 1 is who he is, and that's Super Vegito. Vegito when he turns into a Super Saiyan, and obviously both can turn Super Saiyan 3. I don't think anyone, both Gogeta and Vegito never thought at their full power, Vegeta completely toyed with Gohan Buu just before he transformed, so he scaled already above him. Potara Fusion is a fusion with godly material, and in this point in the story, Potara is permanent. I don't give a fuck. In the Z anime, it was stated Buu and Gohan Buu fought for 3 hours or something. So Dragon Ball Super doesn't count, it's not canon to Z. Get a hold of yourself. And Godly Fusion is a completely different tier of fusion. Using some Mortal Fusion dance can put him above, could put Gogeta above Vegito. Let's be serious. And the next thing is, this fusion is obviously permanent, and even at the very least, Gogeta and Vegito would be equal, which I don't even think that's the case. If they were equal, Vegito wins also, because maybe their characteristic is slightly different, but they are still the same character. Godly Fusion, one reason why it's above. The old Kai also mentioned that it's a completely, it's not the same as a fusion dance, it's far superior. Like, everything in the manga and anime speak for Vegito being stronger than Gogeta. It was stated in the manga that's even stronger than the dance fusion. So how can you argue in favor for Gogeta? I don't know. Unless you use decades old external sources or watch Dragon Ball Super of all things. Fuck Dragon Ball Super. This isn't Dragon Ball Super. We are talking about regular Dragon Ball Z. And I think with this we can conclude the list. Our winner is another Saiyan, like in the previous list. Just that now there are so many Saiyans that it would be pretty much impossible to not have a Saiyan at the top. And next time I think I will make one for Dragon Ball GT. Until next time, goodbye.